Hey everyone, so this video will detail how to make a custom ship and then add it to a station. We'll just be adding it to the Biomate University in Void Starcross because it's the easiest to access real quickly. So we'll do that and get flying. So first up, you want to go into the mod tools in the game, which are quite easily located from the menu, but I'll show you anyway. Just here, mod tools. And then we change our UI scale at the very bottom right because mine doesn't want to save each time. And then go to our ship editor. At the very top you want to go new ship. Now you have the ship name and file name. The ship name is what appears in the game, so it's what the NPCs will see as well. Will say in the target list. So where it says what they fly, that's where the ship name comes in. So if we say here, tutorial ship, I've actually already got a tutorial ship, but we'll now have two. I'll remove the existing one. And then we have ship data, and I'm going to say tutorial ship 2, because as I said, I have a second one already. So the file name is literally the file name. It's the name of the file that you need to include when referencing the ship in stations. So that's where it grabs the ship data from. So we grab that, we go create new ship, we come down and we look at our tutorial ship, which is down the bottom here. So the first thing I like to do is delete everything that's here. So I'm going to delete everything that's here. Unfortunately there's no keyboard shortcut to delete, so you just have to click them and click delete. Righto, so we've got that there. You click under parts here at the very bottom. You got the different hulls. For the small shuttle, which is what was there at the start, you just want to start off with a hull. So there we go. Now the left hand side when you make a ship is normally the front, and you can see that if you load an existing ship such as a mining frigate. The cockpit is on the left, so that's what you want to do with your tutorial ship. So I'm going to rotate this around the y-axis, set it to 180, just so what more looks like a cockpit at the front is at the front. I'm then going to drag that down, but I'll drag the pilot cam up to the front of the ship there, so it kind of looks like a cockpit. There we go. We'll quickly just add some wings and an engine and then call it done so we can continue. Excuse me. So scroll down, click an engine, then click on engine. See it sandwiched inside the ship. Just drag it out. You can see by the way the engine trail's moving as well, which way the direction is, because it renders it in real time there. So we're basically going to have a pocket rocket because it's basically 2/3 the length of the ship. That's great. Righto. We'll quickly add 2 wings and then be done with it. So what's a sleek looking wing? We'll do wing 10 just because we can. Righto. So drag it out. Put it anywhere you like, and no, I'm not going for decent aesthetics. Then what you want to do, since I obviously want it on the other side, I'm going to click clone. Now when it clones, just choose either of the ones that are there. It's not really going to matter. Then grab the blue handle to drag it across, and then you want to rotate it 180 on the Z-axis, so it flips. So we'll go 180, and then drag it back in. There we go. There are all sorts of other parts you can add to your ship for decoration. If you click model, you've got the command module, which is a command module. So every ship should have one of them, because it's basically where all the command functions come from for the ship. So I'm going to put my one on the top. Drag my handles around like this. And just bring it into the ship itself. There we go. Just keep it all rather streamlined. Then there's also obviously the engine types. There's a cargo pod you can add, which are quite big. There's masts you can add to the ships. The third one is the smallest, but it's still quite long. Sails are quite long. Cargo pods are quite long. There's also ship bulk, and these are, just think of the bulk as decorative blocks. So if I click bulk 2 for example, just spin it around to show you, it's just a decorative block really, but they are quite cool. So you can do lots of different things to improve the design of your ship. So if I was to rotate this 180, we've almost got like a extra shield panel next to the wing now, which looks quite cool. I'll then clone that and drag the other one to the other side. Alright, there we go. So we've almost got a little bit of a military jet looking type thing. Right, so let's have a look at some of the stats for our ship. So there's the name of our ship. We can change the internal name that's referenced if we want to. We also have a type and a class. So depending on where you want to make your ship align to, class wise, check the others existing ships for ideas of stats and things like that, and the classes, because you obviously don't want a transport shuttle having statistics similar to a frigate, because that's too powerful. You've got a base price here of 100. You've got a description you can enter, our tutorial ship. Then we've got different shield stats, so these are what they sound like for the most part. So shield, armor, energy, cargo, and life support. That's how many of them there are. Active slots. You only get active slots when you add a module slot, and I'll show you that in a moment. You can set it to be a passive one if you want. Drones. Engine burn is the acceleration of the ship. So the higher the number, the slower it seems to be. Feel free to correct me on that. I just did some brief testing and that's what I noticed. The recharge is your energy recharge rate. Max targets that the ship can lock. The scanning speed, range. The ping speed, so when you press Q to ping, that's the speed. These are your energy resistances. Impact, energy, and explosive, and then you've got your turn, your thrust, and your mass. So between the engine burn and the thrust, that's what's going to give you a lot of acceleration. You've also got the engine color here. You can change the manufacturer image to a custom one if you make one. It goes in the same directory as the ship, which I'll show you in a moment. And then yeah, you've got the engine color. So RGB. So you'll see that they're all ones here, separated with the semicolon, which you can see there. So the first one is a red, second is a green, third is a blue, and the fourth is an alpha, which is your transparency. So one means it's opaque, it's completely solid for lack of a better word, so you're going to see it more in terms of the engine color. If you set it to 0.1, it's going to be a lot harder to see. So for the color here, let's just go 0.20 for the, or 0.2 for the green, 0.2 for the blue, so we're going to have mostly red, and then we'll say 0.6 opacity, and we'll just see what that looks like. So when we're done editing here, I might actually make the thrust 400 and the engine burn can stay the same, so it should accelerate quite quickly. So I'm going to save, oh, we've also got the mass, and the mass affects the maneuverability and acceleration of the ship as well, because obviously the lighter the mass, the less mass is being shifted. Something to consider as well. So I'm going to save my ship, close these windows, and the last thing you want to do is get it ready for a picture. So I'm going to just hold my right mouse button and drag it around so I can position it. Hold your middle mouse button to move it into the center, and then at the bottom here click Save Image. So that's relatively center. I'll just keep it for the moment. You may want to zoom in a little bit more given this is a smaller ship, and then just bring it down a little bit. So something like that. That shows a lot more of the detail, so that's better. So once you're done, just do a final save ship at the bottom, just to make sure. You know it's saved because it regenerates all the engine trails again. Okay, so that's done. Now we need to add it to a station. We close that and go to our station editor. We're going to add it to our Biomate University, so see at the top left here. You'll see it's called Sector 0 Station 0.txt. That's important to remember because we need to copy this to our save file after. So we'll click this. I've got some ships already in here, so I'm going to just delete that existing one. I'm going to click Add Ship at the bottom here for this ship hanger. And now we type in the name of our file, which was tutorialship2.txt. We then set a price modifier, and I'm just going to say 0.8. Alright, so we click add new ship and you'll see it has added now. If you put the wrong file name in there, it won't add. It'll keep that window up. So if that window doesn't disappear and you can't get rid of it, that's why. So just double check your file name. At the bottom, click Save Changes. Right, so now we're up to the third and final part of this tutorial video. So we're going to go to our mod directory now. So this is in the game installation directory, so under Astrox Imperium data mod. Now the first thing to note here to remember is the mod folder, all of this data. This is basically what the game loads when a new save file is made, essentially. It's the easiest way to think about it. So whenever you add a new ship or modify a station file, it's going to modify it in here, but it's not going to modify your save file. So you need to copy over what you've changed to your save file in order to be able to see it. So what we're going to do is go into your ships here. You'll see here these are the icons for the different ship brands. This is the location that I said I'd tell you. When you make a ship, you can make a custom icon and put it in here. These are made in Fireworks by Momoguru, I think, because I loaded it in Photoshop. It said there's some Fireworks data in there. Shout out to Momo. Righto, so let's go find our tutorial ship 2. There we go, tutorial ship 2. We can double check it's the right one by checking the image. So we'll copy both the PNG and the text file. Then in mod, we go to saves, access the save file you want. So mine's called shipmaker because that's what we're doing. And then I'm going to paste it in here. Then we go back to mod, go into stations, and remember how I said you need to note the station name? So here, Sector 0 Station 0 is the Biomate University. Easiest way to add new ships really, because it's your starting point, so you can just make a new account and then just keep adding ships and testing them from there and use Void Starcross as a testing ground really. So I'm going to copy that, go into saves, go into shipmaker, go into stations, paste, and then I'm going to replace the file. And that, my friends, is all you need to do. So now if I load up our game again, we exit the mod tools. We go continue and we load our shipmaker save. Alright, so if we go into shipyard, you'll see here we've got tutorial ship. So there's our ship we made. All nice and ready to be flown. It's got all the right stats here. You can see because we had a 0.8 price modifier, it's put the extra 8 on. So if you don't want it to be a modified price, just leave the modifier. That's all the statistics on there. So you've got the shield, hull, your energy, and your life support. Then you got your thrust and your mass and everything else as well. So there's the description at the bottom, our tutorial ship. Just confirm the purchase. Press OK, then go to ship dock at the top. And you'll see here, you got a tutorial ship. I'm going to activate it. Great, I'm going to delete the old one that I had made because that's when I was poking around. I've also made some others here as well, which I'll keep because they're kind of cool. Alright, so yeah, we've activated our tutorial ship, which actually looks quite nice, and let's go fly it. Alright, so this is my favorite engine color. That's why I gave it those values. I'm making a pirate faction at the moment with those colors. So yeah, you can see here, if you want to go somewhere, the speed's quite decent in this. The acceleration's quite decent as well. And you will occasionally get too close to things, it'll have to reverse. But yeah, there's our tutorial ship. Fully in the game, fully flyable. You can hold your left mouse button down and fly it manually as you would with anything else. You can zoom in and turn off autopilot. Yeah, you can zoom in and use the camera view here because we put it at the front of the ship. That's what you want to do, you can. And yeah, there you go. Fully working ship that you can now buy as well from your station. So the next video we'll look at will be making a custom star system. We'll also look at, in no particular order, the next video might also be adding custom NPC ships. That's a small tweak. And also making custom weapons and things like that, if that's a possibility. We'll look at that. Great, so I hope you enjoy. Leave any questions that you might have and I'll address them, but hopefully this was pretty clear and explanatory, and I look forward to seeing what you all make.